Hello everybody, today I will play through Dragon Quest Monster Joker 2 using only slime. The rules are 1. Only use monsters from the slime family in battle. 2. Only use monsters from the slime family for fusions. This way we can fuse powerful slimes like the gem slime. 3. I'm not allowed to use items in battle. 4. I'm not allowed to use the back team or the reserves or however you want to call them. In this game, unlike the first one, you are a stowaway on an airship, because you are trying to reach the main island from the first game to compete in the monster tournament. I skipped the tutorial where you get caught and meet the members of the crew. After that, you run into a powerful storm that crashes the airship, and the members of the crew get scattered around the island. You get back to the ship and meet up with the mechanic. You both hear rumblings from the nearby forest and get word for the other crew members. After a good night of sleep, he gives you the only monster left on the ship, this double bell pepper guy. Like in the first game, the starter is not slime, but thankfully we can scout the slime just outside. Once we have a full team of slimes, we can start exploring the forest. We soon find out that it is home to a huge worm that likes to patrol the area. Every area in this game is home to one of those huge monsters. Some are aggressive, some are not. After we meet up with the student guy, and unfortunately the mechanic gets eaten by the worm, so we have to go rescue him. We make our way inside the worm while it is sleeping, and find the mechanic unconscious. We get attacked by an eyeball demon, our first boss fight if you can call it that. He takes out one of our slimes, but we win soon after. After the eyeball guy is defeated, the worm spits us out and decides to leave. He also leaves behind a medallion, and that is important for the main quest line of the game. When the student sees the medallion, he starts ranting about a legend or something. Once we regroup, we can go back to the downed airship and start looking for other survivors. The second area in the game houses this giant flying chimera who likes to fly into you, kill one of your monsters and leave. Thankfully, most of the area is underground, where it can't reach us. After a bit of exploration, we find a cave where one of the crew members gets harassed by some more guys. They attack us, and they are no match for our slimes. We can use freeze for damage and heal for sustain. It's a long but easy fight. After I win, I scout a couple of heal slimes in the area and fuse them with our slimes to obtain two she slimes, and like in the first game, they will accompany us for quite a bit of time. We also meet Don Mole, which is a rank S monster in the first game. He tells us that to access more of the island, we have to win some test fights against his team. For now, we just have to pass two, and it's pretty easy. You have to win 3 fights in a row for each rank. The rank F consists of very weak monsters that go down in a couple of hits each, and pose no threat to us. After we beat rank F, we can access the next area, but I decided to take on the rank E challenge, since you have to beat it sooner or later, and I'm feeling confident. It's a bit more serious, but not hard at all. Some of the monsters do okay damage to us, but we can heal back up and finish the fight. Isolation is a frozen wasteland, and soon after we enter it, we have to save this woman from the wolves. They are surprisingly hard, very fast, so I can't heal reliably, and do good damage. They also can stun you for a turn. I think I wiped once, and the second time was kinda close too. After we save her, she goes forward without us, but we meet her again not long after. She is near this bonfire, and she lights it up somehow. No idea how she did it, but okay. The fire, unfortunately, enrages the huge monster in the area, who charges at it and breaks the ice wall behind it, knocking itself out. After we break some more ice walls this way and save Lily once again from more wolves, she finally finds her missing pet monster, but unfortunately for them, he is nearby a lit fire, which triggers the attention of the Bjorn, the giant monster. He charges the fire, but this time he does not get knocked out, even though he just charged a stone cliff and was earlier knocked out by breakable ice walls, but okay. Anyway, now that he is mad, we have to fight him. And to be honest, this fight was more to see how strong he was. That's why I was not paying attention at the start. But once I see that our slimes are keeping up with him, I decide to try hard and stall him out, to the point where he has no MP left over, and he wastes half of his turns trying to cast spells, and somehow, with just one slime left, I can pull through and win the fight. Do not underestimate the Shinslight, I'm telling you. They are pretty good. After he is defeated, we have to fight more challenges for Don Mole. And even with 3 Shinslimes, they are starting to get a bit more tough. We lose a member in the second round, but I decided to keep going, trusting that with our 2 strong slimes we can win the fight and the challenge overall. And I was right. In the third fight, I changed tactics of one of our slimes to focus on healing, to make sure that it always heals, ensuring that the enemies don't take us out. Even though I lose some turns to stuns, with a few spells and attacks I can get through the fight with no big issues. We now have access to the fourth area, and here we can scout a rubber slime and more importantly a dragon slime. They have low chance of scouting, but with them I can start the fusion chain. We then see the captain saving the girl from a demon, but we are more interested in fusions. First into slime stack, then pure slime, even though I forgot to record it, then cyber slime, then magic slime, then dark slime, rotten egg, dark slime knight, king pure slime, and finally king bubble slime. I repeat the process 2 more times, and then I'm ready to move forward with the story. The mini-boss in the area is not very strong, and we save the captain from him, but the girl has been kidnapped by the boss, and once we reach the peak, we can fight him. He is a tougher fight, but with some kabuffs and umples from our King Bubble Slimes, we can win easily. We also have access to some decent healing with meditation, so it's not very easy to take us out, and we can outlast most fights for a while. He is the first boss that can attack twice per turn, but even with that perk, he stands no chance. Soon after we win, we meet Empireia. She is the huge monster of the area, and she is friendly. She speaks with us a bit and then leaves. Soon after, the captain faints from the injuries that he sustained during the fight, and we bring him to the ship and decide what to do. Lily's pet decides to leave, and we have to chase it down. We reach this beach area where we are attacked by some tentacles. They are very easy. Once we defeat them and reach the end of the area, we find out that the tentacles were part of a kraken. It is the huge monster of the area, and we have to take it down to save the pet thing. Like the last boss fight, we don't do much damage, but we are able to sustain through the fight. And after a bunch of turns where we heal and we deal a bit of damage, we can defeat him. At this point, all three of my slimes are focused on attacking, and I manually heal when needed, because I want to maximize DPS so that the fights take a bit less time. I also did not need to grind my King Bubble Slime too much up to this point, but that will soon change. For those wondering, I could scout and fuse together some metal slimes, but I don't think they are worth the effort. After the boss is defeated, Lily reaches us and rejoins her pet. From here, we have to go back to Dawn Mall and complete 3 more challenges. Rank C is pretty easy. We can pass it with no problems. One rule that I neglected to mention until now is that in the challenges you can't give direct orders to your monsters, so you have to hope that they are not dumb enough to die and change their tactics accordingly. Not sure why there are 2 swords in the last team. I'm sure you can find another monster that can fit there. Rank B is a bit harder, not because of the first team, they are just some bags that we can squash, but I wiped once to the second team because of a crit and some confusion RNG from the dancing demon. So I decided to grind a bit, and I tried again, and now I can pass it easily. The final team does decent damage, but nothing to write home about. and after a couple of turns we can finish them off. After they are defeated, we can finally start the rank A. The first team in this challenge is easy, and we win without any issues. Once again, I'm sure you could find another skeleton monster to fit in there. In the second team, the Mimic in the center is a rank S monster, or at least it was in the first game. But the team overall is still pretty easy. In the third team, both the dragon and the lower robot are rank S monsters, but overall it is somehow easier than the previous rank. After we pass them, we can access the B mausoleum. After pressing some buttons, we have access to the first mini-boss, the Overkilling machine. While it does decent damage, he can't get through us, and eventually we take him down. Once he is defeated, we can fight the huge boss of the area, a giant mechanical centaur with two ballistas for hands, and he is not easy. His thin air spell does good AoE damage to us, and his helm splitter attack can lower our defense, nullifying our buffs and making us take much more damage. Unfortunately for him, his DPS is lower than our heals. With multi-heal now, I can heal my whole team for quite a bit of HP. And as long as we don't run out of MP, we can keep chipping away at him until it goes down. And given our pretty large MP pool, we don't have any MP issues. After a while he goes down, and once he is defeated, the ghosts of the crew speak with us and give us the last medallion. I'm not sure why there are ghosts if the crew is still alive. You might have noticed that the light blue color has been chroma keyed out, and you can see the background. Not sure what happened there. Must have messed something up in editing. Anyway, with the medallion in hand, we make our way back to Dawn Mall one last time to take on the final challenge, the famous Rank S challenge. It has only two fights. The first one is against Don Mall himself, and while he has good attack and he is decently tanky, he does not have much else going on, and after a few turns of trading hits, we can take him down and move on to the second fight. Here, the ghost of the old dude summons a huge slime golden crab, and he is pretty cool fight. Also, this is considered a regular fight, so you can give orders to your monster, which makes it much easier. The crab is not too dangerous. His damage is good, but not stellar, and he gets poisoned immediately. Unfortunately for us, he has a move called Dispel Wave, which removes all of our buffs, forcing us to reapply them multiple times. As you can see, the fight is very long, and we are starting to run low on HP near the end. Fortunately, he goes down before we do. After he is defeated, we can go back to the mausoleum and access a secret area. After walking around for a while and grinding against hundreds of monsters, we can face the last boss fight in the game. My monsters are level 35, so more or less like the level from the first game. This guy is supposed to be the protector of the island, but he has been corrupted, so we have to defeat him to free him. Also, he is supposed to attack twice per turn, but this time he does not do it, so I decide to take the free win. Like the crab, he has Dispel Wave, but it would be much more dangerous if he attacked immediately after using it. His lightning attack does very good AoE damage, but with multi-heal from 2 slimes we can tank it. After a bunch of turns he goes down, and the small demon, Lilith, finally does something good for once. Not sure how, but he cleanses the boss, turning him good. With that, the ghosts seem happy, Leonyx leaves, and the ghosts move on to the afterlife. We can now go back to the ship, and with the help of Empireia, we can reach our original destination and take part in the tournament. You only have to fight the girl from the last game in the finals. She is cocky as usual. Her team consists of 2 rank S monsters, but they are very easy compared to the last few bosses. After you win the fight, you become the champion, and the credits roll. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked it. Please remember to subscribe, like the video, leave a comment if you have suggestions, share the video with your friends if you want, ring the bell, and all of that YouTube stuff. See you next time.